Thank you, Tim Jones. This is Summer Valley FM 97.5. My name's Sam Foster and you're listening to Newsworthy. Lovely weather out there, and I'm joined today, once again, by Gentle George.
Hi Sam, it's great to be here.
How you doing, George? I'm just going to turn your microphone up a little bit, George. That's how gentle you really are.
I'm too gentle for radio.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, how are you, George?
I'm fabulous.
Well, we've got an excellent show lined up today, George, and I'm very excited about it. I'm not gonna lie. The schedule today, we're gonna do this day in history, our kind of weekly trespassing on the timeline of history, just picking out those very important moments that define the age and define the centuries which we find ourselves in. We're going to be moving on to a couple of songs. Gentle George helps me out with the songs. It helps him emotionally, physically, and it helps me because, to be honest with you listeners, I've got better things to do than pick out songs. Isn't that right, Gentle George?
Absolutely.
Gentle George, you're so gentle I can barely hear you.
I'll try and project a bit more. Have you actually turned the microphone on, Sam?
That is a great question, Gentle George.
Is
Try
that
it now.
There we go, that's it. It does help to have the microphone on. So.
Gentle George's microphone is now on. Down here at Summer Valley FM 97.5, technical issues are right down on the list of priorities, but now we're right back on it. Gentle George,
Yeah.
say hello to the listeners.
Hello, listeners. You're all looking lovely today.
Okay, that's enough, George. We're going to be moving on then to Radio Bingo, our new feature, which I know went down very well last week. Congratulations to Sally. I hope you received that bottle of water that we sent out to you. And if everyone gets their bingo cards at the ready, at about 12:30, we'll be doing Radio Bingo. Once again, then obviously we finish the show with Rags to Radstock, a story of someone who had nothing, comes to Radstock, and then has everything. A lot of people have been looking forward to it. We've had lots of emails about it, so I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to be playing our first tune, Birdhouse in Your Soul, They Might Be Giants. I hope you enjoy this.
I'm not your only friend, but I'm a little glowing friend, but really I'm not actually your friend, but I am. Look at her in the alley by the light switch, who watches over you? Make a little birdhouse in your soul, not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. I have a secret to tell from my electrical well. It's a simple message and I'm leaving out the whistles and bells. So the room must listen to me, filibuster vigilantly. My name is Blue Canary, one note spelled L-I-T-E. My story's infinite, like the Longines Symphony. It doesn't rest. Blue Canary in the alley by the light switch, who watches over you? Make a little birdhouse in your soul, not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. I'm your
you are cordially invited to the Headbangers Ball. Playing the very best in rock and metal. With live performances and interviews each week. Join me, Aaron Phillips, every Wednesday night between 8 and 10 on 97.5 FM or online at summervalleyfm.co.uk. Or search for the Headbangers Ball Radio Show on Facebook.
Okay, thank you there, Aaron. Headbangers Ball, something I like to listen to at least once a year on Summer Valley FM 97.5. Cracking stuff there by Aaron. And we're going to be coming on to our first feature of the show, This Day in History, where we have a look at the timeline of history and get to see the important moment. A little bit of Mr. Scruff will accompany us then. What do you think about this, Gentle George?
This is lovely. Yeah.
Lovely, isn't it? I'm going to turn it down a little bit so I can hear you.
Is the mic on?
I'm going to go first, Gentle George. In 1878, the first Gay Pride Parade was hosted in Clapham, London. There were over 30 arrests, with police using truncheons, handcuffs and leather belts. It was deemed a huge success by all.
Hats were briefly banned in 1704 as they were deemed impractical for limbo tournaments.
In 1975, 3 men under the names Tom, Dick and Harry are all arrested on suspicion of unlawful impersonation and identity fraud. They escaped, although many witnesses have claimed to see them since.
In 1986, both Michael Caine and Christopher Walken attempted Scottish accents. They both made a pact to never talk of the incident again.
In 2004, it was discovered that alcohol is responsible for over 65,000 deaths a year. However, the government reaction was to make it cheaper and stronger.
In 39 BC, the wheel was invented.
In 1976, more than 200,000 people are feared dead after an 8.3 magnitude earthquake hits China.
In 1663, during a heated domestic argument, Anne de Boys threw a dinner plate at her husband, who skillfully caught it, inventing the popular outdoor sport, frisbee.
In 1798, today was going to be the day, but they'll never throw it back to you. However, by now, you should have somehow realised what you're not going to do. Many said they didn't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
In 1998, everybody officially stopped caring about Boy George.
In 1965, President Johnson commits a further 50,000 US troops to the conflict in Vietnam.
In 1702, tomatoes are considered a fruit, confusing people for centuries to come.
In 1791, a chicken and an egg were judged to have come first in a photo finish at Newmarket Racecourse in the prestigious hypothetical stakes.
In 1975, during a terrorist bombing, 200 men in suits attempted to run away from the explosion without becoming sweaty and inadvertently invented jogging.
In 1972, thousands of British dockers began an official strike to safeguard jobs.
In 1979, hair dye was invented, prompting a host of middle-aged single women to drastically dye their hair in a fatal attempt to seem like they were coping with life.
In 1998, the RSPCA sued the News of the World over their coverage of Jade Goody. And finally, in 1968, Mr. Kinder, creator of a new chocolate egg product, was arrested after strange foreign toy-like figures were being found within the eggs. He was later executed by firing squad. Okay, that was on this day in history. This is Summer Valley FM 97.5. This is Newsworthy. You're joined with me, Sam Foster, and Gentle George in the studio. Gentle George, I really enjoyed having a look back on our prestigious history.
What's your favourite year, Sam?
It's got to be 1998.
Good year.
The year of the bird. Great year for all concerned.
It's a good one.
We're going to be playing on our next song now. It's Big Mouth Strikes Again. This is by a little known band called The Smiths.